One of my fondest moments with the PlayStation 3 was spending hours upon hours chasing high scores on Super Stardust HD. You can imagine my excitement when I learned that developer Housemarque is now making a spiritual successor to Super Stardust on the PlayStation 4. This is where my review of Resogun begins, Housemarque's incredible PS4 launch title. To put Resogun into perspective, it's a lot like the arcade classic Defender. Resogun is a twin-stick shooter that locks your shooting to either left or right. Each level is a giant cylinder that you continually drive around while shooting up the bad guys. On a basic level, that's what Resogun is. But if you're at all the kind of person who likes twin-stick shooters and who loves chasing high scores, you'll enjoy the chaos Resogun offers. It's all about the hectic craziness on screen. There's a large variety of enemies, some static, some non-static, some that shoot, some that move and shoot, some that explode. There's many you've got to look out for, and in later levels the screen will be absolutely covered with them. Much like Super Stardust HD, the screen gets flooded to the point where one false move causes you a lost life. The amount of precision needed for success is what drives the addiction. It's also what fuels the extreme disappointment if you so happen to die, but in this case, it's not a matter of the game's fault, but your own, making you hungry for another run at success. Shooting bad guys is definitely a good way to get some points, but the actual goal to Resogun per se is to save humans. Each level has 10 humans trapped in glass boxes. Periodically throughout the level, enemies highlighted in green will show up. Properly disposing of these enemies in time frees a human, and you're left to chase after them, grab them, and then take them to a portal. This in turn gives you points, lives, bombs, or an overdrive upgrade. Saving all of them is just another layer of challenge, even a necessity if you want to get a high score. Speaking of which, another nice touch here is your score multiplier. Unlike Super Stardust, your score multiplier increases every time you shoot an enemy, but if you go too long without shooting an enemy, it's lost. This, on top of saving humans, on top of screen chaos, creates an extremely challenging game. To a lover of twin-stick shooters, it's your dream. What's really interesting about Resogun is that this game could not be on PlayStation 3. The game features an incredible amount of on-screen particle effects that run and move in real time. There's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of small particle effects that are constantly exploding left and right. The game looks just fantastic. It has that new PS4 hardware look with the retro facelift. The music, for example, is just fantastic, and the bosses will give you a real level of challenge reminiscent of games made 20 years ago. Aside from the single-player arcade mode, you can also play co-op with a friend, which is a really straightforward, fun mode to play with your friends. Resogun is just a kick-ass game. It's so addictive, it's so gorgeous, it's so fun. Resogun is the kind of game I'm going to be playing on my PlayStation 4 for the next 5+ years. Housemarque has already made such a game on the PlayStation 3, and they've done it again here. And you know, I'll be more than happy to defend my leaderboard position over that time. Just try and stop me.